Hello everyone, welcome to another video lesson sa math, and for this week we are going to have solving problems involving linear equations in one variable. So this is a continuation sa ato nga lesson last week, which is still in lesson 4.1 sa ato nga book. So kindly open your book on page 157 until 163 for references. So, kani siya, sa inyong nga book, this naana siya yung mga subtitles as absolute value equations and applications of linear equations in one variable. But para mas maklaro na to, so this is solving word problems no involving linear equations in one variable. So now, to continue, so in Unit 1, we learned the absolute value of a number was its distance from 0 on a number line. So therefore, if natay gitawag nga absolute value of 3, ang iyaha nga answer is 3. Okay? And absolute value of negative 3 is also 3 or positive 3. So, tungod kaya nga itong gisgutan is distance, so ang atong absolute value will take the positive form in which mo na itong ginagamit in real world. So wala man tayo mayunta nga kung distansya sa usa ka lugar to another nga lugar is negative. So wala tayo negative nga distance, so it should always be taking the form of the positive nga value. So that is absolute value. So how about if we have absolute value equation? So how are we going to find the value of the variables in the equation? So, if we are talking about absolute value equations, so the same gihapon, we are going to consider two cases in order to find the value of our variable in the equation. But since naman siya absolute nga kaya na ang value, so natay duha ka cases nga himuon. So, case 1, so at ang tango nato ni absolute value, we will assume that our 2 is positive 2. So, the first case is using the positive value sa ato ang end result, which is 2 or positive 2. Then, we solve it as katong ato learned last week in solving linear equation in one variable. So, addition property of equality, this will become 3x is equal to 2. Since diri naman siya daan, so as is siya positive 2 and negative 5 atom ning plasan og 5, so therefore we'll add 5 also sa other nga side. So mo na siya gi-shortcut na lang. So this will become 3x equals to 7. Now, to get the value of x, we are going to divide 3 on both sides para nga x na lang ang mahibilin. So this will become x equals to 7 over 3. Okay, so that is our answer in case 1. Case 2, so ato ang gamiton ang negative 2 nga value. Okay, take note ha, kitangtang na nato ang absolute value will assuming 2 cases. 2 cases lang siya. So, ang positive nga result and the negative nga result. Since sa absolute value, the same man ang absolute value of negative number and the positive number. So, we have here 3x minus 5 equals to negative 2. The same nga pamaagi sa pag-solve sa kaya na ang case 1. So, 3x equals to negative 2 plus 3. Then, mahimong 3x equals to 3. Now, we'll divide both sides by 3 para x na lang mabilin. Then, our x equals to 1. To check whether our answers are correct, so, ato ang gamiton ang ato ang original nga unsay nga nani original nga equation given here. So, absolute value of 3x minus 5 equals to positive 2. So, this is 3 times 7 over 3. I'm sorry, nasayop ko. This one is supposed to be a parenthesis. So, anyway, okay lang na siya. So, 3 times 7 over 3. Si x, gialisdan nimo sa first value, which is 7 over 3. Minus 5 equals 2. Then, mahimo na lang niya siyang 7 since makancel man ni si 3 o si 3. Or, 3 times 7 is 21. So, divided by 3 is also 7. So, pwede rin na nga na. Minus 5 equals to 2. then absolute value of 7 minus 5, which is 2, or absolute value of 2 equals to, absolute value of 2 is 2, equal to 2. Mag-equal na gani ni silang duha, that means that you are on the right track or you have the correct answer. Another, ang second nga value, 3x minus 5 equals to 2. Diba? Ito second value is 1. We'll replace x with 1. Okay? So, 3 times 1 minus 5 equals to 2. 3 times 1, mahimo na siya nga, 3 minus 5 equals to 2. Absolute value of negative 2 equals to 2. Let's see if they're equal. Then 2 equals to 2. So, we have two values when we talk about absolute values. I mean, absolute value equation. Since, as I've said, nga, ang ato nga, absolute value of both the negative and the positive number will take the positive form since it is talking about distance. So, it's no different with the absolute value equation kung atong gihisgutan is absolute value. So, the same lang sila. It will take two values. I mean, it will take two roots or solution for our absolute value equation. The same with the number, we are getting the absolute value. Okay? Now, we'll proceed now ngadto sa ato ang applications of linear equations in one variable. So, this is now our problem solving. So, we have different kinds of word problems involving linear equations. So, whether in one variable, two variables, in the higher nga mathematics. So, different, but we'll take only 3 types as of this level. So, sa sunod na lang ng uban, kay para nga dili kaayo bugat, para lang nga ma-learn ninyo ang basic. Okay? Basically, ginagamit sa ato ang subject. Okay? So, how do we solve a word problem? So, we'll go back to steps unsaon na to pag-solve ang word problem. So, first, of course, you have to read the problem carefully. Okay? Ato nang dugangan, read and understand the problem. Okay? With regards to problem solving, daghanang dili ganahan no, because we are tapulan in reading and understanding the problem, right? So, usahay, kaya na ang kapuya ning problem solving, kaya na ang lisod man, because we are not reading it. But the key to answering a word problem is, of course, reading and understanding the problem. So, kaya na ang, there are other nga mga tao that maybe mas comfortable sila nga, I mean, mas dali sila maka-understand while reading it, but other people find it hard nga mag-understand a word problem. So, you can use diagrams. So, pwede ka nga drawingon baka nimo in order to understand if that is your way of solving it. So, there is no problem. Using diagrams is one way to visualize the problem para mas masabtan ninyo. So, you can also use actual objects. Pwede po ka nga mangitag objects ka. Wala ko kasabot ani ba? Unsa kagahaw ang magkuha ko kaya na ang marbles baka hahong i-represent sa mga numbers didha sa kaya na ang problem. Or, you can even act out the problem. Mas ganahan ko nga ang kaya na ang drama-drama usa. But be sure to know what is being asked. Maulang gid na ang kaya na ang you have to know unsa ang gipangita sa problem. Okay? That is the first thing that you need to understand, to know, gikan sa imong gibasa. What is asked in the problem. After that, assign variables to unknown quantities. So, sa karon tungod kay we are applying the linear equations, we will be using variables or mga letters to represent the unknown numbers. So, muna itong buhaton. Usually, we use X sa mathematics, but you can use any letter from A to Z. Okay, small letter lang itong gamiton to assign unknown quantities for equation. Okay. Then, write expressions for related quantities. Di na magamit itong inyong understanding. You have to understand how the problem progresses. Okay, so inyuha nga isuwat ang equation. Giunsa siya pag develop diha sa problem. Then, determine which quantities are equal. Unsa nga mga quantities ang equal, asa dapit nako ibutang ang equal sign and form an equation. Dayon, we have to solve the equation using the one we learned from last week, which is solving linear equations in one variable. Dayon, check the result, whether you are on the right track. So, I do not need you to check nga, inyo ha pang ipass na ko isuwat appeal sa ato ang kaya na ang expected result, but this is beneficial to you kay kung gi-check ninyo yung result and you come up with an equal quantities, meaning correct imong answer. But if you come up with unequal nga quantities sa imuha nga kaya na ang pag-check, meaning something is wrong with your equation or with your solution. So, that is checking the result. And ako i-add, label the final answer. Okay? So, to make sure that you know what is asked what is asked in the problem, so you have to label the final answer. Okay? Or you have to make a conclusion what is your answer to the question being asked. The first one or the very first step nga to ang gihimo. Example. Okay. So, first nga type sa problem is the number problem. Okay. So, number problems. Kindly refer to page 160. So, naara diha ako nang i-explain ang naara diha nga mga ang usa ka problem din ha. The sum of three consecutive integers is 39. So, find the integers. So, meaning, we are going to find three integers. Tungod kay gihatag man nga ang tulo kuno ka consecutive integers is 39. Kung imong what is sum? Kung imong i-add. Okay, then we do not know sa integers tulo. But we can know or we can assign a variable to represent our first integer, which is walang takaybaw, so you can use any letter. And as for ako giingon, we usually use x. Okay, let x be the first integer. Okay. Since we do not know pila na siya, so ang ikaduha will be, tungod kay sunod man, plus 1. That will be your second integer. And the third one, so si x plus 1 pag yun, so that's x plus 2. That is your third integer. Now, let's develop the equation. The sum, meaning kung imong i-add silang tulo, okay, look at that, it will be equal to 39. Then, solve. So, that will be x plus 1 plus x plus 2 equals to 39. Add all the x's. Okay, similar terms man na sila. So, 3x plus 1 plus 2 is 3 equals to 39. Then 3x equals to 39 minus 3. Then 3x equals to 36. Both sides will be divided by 3 to get our x, which is equal to 12. Therefore, the three consecutive integers are 12, ang atong x, plus 1, that will be 13, plus 2, that will be 14. So, ang atong tulo ka consecutive integers are 12, 13, and 14. So, we still have two more examples in the book. And kindly refer na lang sa book para nga dili mas mutas ang ato nga video. In case nga dili ninyo masabtan after so many repetitions of reading and understanding it, so you can ask me na after that. But if you can understand it by yourself, so just do it with yourself. So, it will be such an achievement nga, ako'y nag-study niya, nasabtan ako dayon. So, but again, kung dili masabtan, malibog gihapon, so you can ask me, ngano ma'am, nganong naingon ani man ni. So, no problem with that. Okay? So, it's better nga mangutana ha. Again, class, it's better nga mangutana kaysa send ra kag answer sa imong classmate. That's a no-no. Okay. Next, we have Measurement problems. So, determine the dimensions of a rectangle whose length is 2 meters more than its width and whose perimeter is 52 meters. Now, when we talk about dimensions of a rectangle, so na lang na siya duha ka dimension, the length and the width. Meaning, ang part sa rectangle nga na measurement, makikita og dimension. Now, so, measurement problem. So, first, let x be its width. Since wala man ta kaibaw pila ang width. And ang giingon diha nga length is 2 meters more than its width. So, meaning, ang ato nga length will be x plus 2. Mas taas po no siya 2 meters sa length niya kaysa iyang width. Ang iyang length is mas taas og 2 meters kaysa iyang width. I mean, nalibog ng tingali mo. Again, we let x to be our width. Asa na ba niya akong cursor? So, x will be our width. Tapos, ang atong length is described as 2 meters more kuno kaysa iyang width. That is why we have x plus 2. Then, it has a perimeter of 52 meters. So, we are going to use the equation of the perimeter of a rectangle, which is P is equal to 2 times length plus 2 times width. Okay. So, in measurement problems class, we are going to use the mga formulas in finding the dimensions of polygons, mayon ana. So, perimeter mga itong gisutan, so we'll use the perimeter formula sa rectangle, which is perimeter is equal to 2 times length plus 2 times width. So, equation. Given ang perimeter, we have 52. That's P. Akong gali sa 52 equals 2 times the length, which is x plus 2, plus, here, 2 gihapon, gikan na sa formula class ha, tapos x, which is our width. Then, solve. We have the equation, so we'll solve. 2 times x plus 2x is equal to 52. Okay. So, that is 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 2x equals 52. So, add all the similar terms. So, 2x plus 2x equals 4x plus 4 equals 52. Solve by linear equation. Adding addition property of equality. Therefore, we have 4x equals 52 minus 4. 4x equals to 48. Divide both sides by 4 to get our x, which is 12. Therefore, ang atong dimension. Therefore, the width of the rectangle is 12 since x man. Okay? And its length is plus 2, 14 meters. I'm sorry, I forgot to write the meters. Okay? 12 meters and 14 meters. It's important. Tungod kay we are talking about measurement problems. Last. So, again, napailain diha nga example on page 162. Kindly look at it na lang para mas masabtan ninyo. You can have another perspective diha sa problem. Lain naman po na about triangle. So, next. We have work problems. Okay. So, Elmer can paint a room in 12 hours while Erwin can finish the same task in 10 hours. How long will it take to paint the room if they work together? Okay. So, tungod kay 12 hours mahuman ni Erwin ang task. So, ang iyahang mahimo in 1 hour, so in 1 hour is, di ba, 12 hours no? So, ang part nga mahuman ni Elmer is 1/12. So, that means sa usa ka kung 12 hours ang usa ka kaya na ang trabaho, so 1/12 ang part done by Elmer. Okay. 1/10 also is the part of the job done by Erwin. Every 1 hour nino, every 1 hour. And then, job done together, we do not know pila ka hours mahuman nila if they work together, so we'll let it as x. Okay? Dayon, sa equation, if we are going to add the parts of the job done by Elmer and Erwin, so that is 1/12 plus 1/10 is equal to 1/x. By the way, lahi ang pagkasolve sa book. but they will have the same answer. So, masayunan kung magtanaw ani para dili mo I do not know sa inyo ha, which are you, sa inyo nga kaya na ang tumanon, but they will yield the same answer. So, I think masayunan ko sa ingon ani nga one and sa ingon ani nga pamaagi. Okay? So, we have 1 over 12 plus 1 over 10 is equal to 1 over x. So, since adding the similar fractions, we are going to find its LCD, which is 60. Okay, 60 divided by 12, so that is 5. Times 1, 5. No, 60 divided by 10 is 6. Times 1 is 6. Equals to 1 over x. Then 11 over 60 equals to 1 over x. So, we can cross multiply since this is equating, kanang mo na mahog o kana ang proportion, di ba? So, cross multiply, so this will become 11x equals to 60. Okay? 60 times 1 is 60. So, 11 times x is 11x. Then, to get our x, we have to divide both sides by 11. So, therefore, our x is 60 over 11. Since ang gipangutana diha is how long will it take to paint the room if they work together, then, the two boys can finish the job in 60 over 11. Or if we are going to convert that into hours, that will be 5.45 hours. Okay. So, that is our kanang work problem. So, just look at sa other nga pamaagi sa pag-solve ana on the book. So, I guess you will get it naman by looking at the pattern. Okay? So, that will be all. Ang ato ang i-take up. So, ang age problem tingali, money problem, we have motion problem. So, ma-take up na ninyo in your grade 8. So, as for this time, kana lang usang tulo. And then, thank you very much. I hope you're going to enjoy doing our math activities.